All right, so here's a courthouse wedding, and this is one of those non-traditional weddings that has a different time frame and a different set of expectations and all of the above. And they originally were going to have a much smaller wedding, and then they decided to have a still very small wedding. But and I just love this couple. We took pictures of them at their farm. They actually own a farm, and these young farmers, and they're amazing people. And they asked us to do their wedding, and my wife and I were like, "Oh yeah, of course." So my wife is shooting now at this point, and this was just about a year and a half ago, I think, and she's shooting with the Sony A7 III and a 55 millimeter 1.8, and I'm shooting with the XT3 Fuji and an X Pro 2 Fuji with I think I had four lenses with me. They're so Fuji. One of the reasons I went to Fuji is because they're so small, and I could fit a bunch and barely have any weight in my bag. So we showed up, I think, around 2:30 or 3 o'clock and shot until around 6. And we were able to get the whole story, the whole wedding, some fabulous portraits. You could see us we were pretty confident and we know what we're doing. We were using equipment that we felt comfortable using, and we're getting pictures that would, once again, tell the story and always focusing on emotions. And at this point, gosh, I love that. At this point, we just know what we're doing. My wife and I had done so many weddings together that she's up with the girls and I'm hanging out downstairs getting the details, and the guys are mostly doing nothing. And we're just going through and capturing the moments. Look how much brighter the photos are compared to some of our older stuff. Brighter, cleaner, more fun. There's me just kind of hanging out with Gio, the groom. He's not doing as much, of course. The girls are doing a lot, and I'm focusing on details and kind of trying to get cool light and shadows. We were fortunate that the house is so pretty with open windows and a lot of light, so we had quite a lot of light to work with, and telling the story, and getting the emotions. This is their first for high five for their first look. Oh, just love them. And everybody was just so much fun, and it was just so cool. You could see so much emotion here. Great couple. And we're telling the story, right? If you look at this throughout, we're focusing on the details and the story. The key players, the father, the mother, some quick portraits, and we're just downstairs. The lighting's not perfect. And I asked, did you guys want to go outside? They're like, nope. So we just took the picture there. And that's okay. One of the things that my wife and I, as a strength, and that people loved about us, and one of the things they told other people about us, is that we are so hands off and we do not interfere that much, and we let the couple have fun. And, this is like 3 blocks away from their house. They didn't have much at their backyard. So we just got in the car and drove, I think, probably 3 or 4 minutes away. And it was this park in the middle of a bunch of houses. So you could see the houses in the background up here. But we are using equipment where we can minimize that. So they're not even close to as much of the photo as you think. You could barely even tell in some of these. So we're using, wide open apertures, and then we're finding spots and getting at angles where you're not going to see a lot of the house. Emotions, beautiful. I love it. I love the color. And then we found this cool hill. So behind the hill there, where the only chance we had to take some of these photos without visual chaos in the background was for us to be down low and then on top of the hill, because behind them are playgrounds, play sets, all this stuff. It was also really cold. It was way colder than you think. They were champs. She just took the freezing temperatures like they were nothing. My hands were barely able to take pictures. It was so cold. And I liked a lot of these. We did some effects and some grain fades. Beautiful, having a lot of fun, using light flare a little bit, letting some light bleed in. And a lot of love the wind coming through. I really enjoyed these. There's quite a bit of editing in these. They were much darker when you first saw these because we were trying to get the clouds in the background. So I like a lot of these. I do not like that. I I should have done something different. I should have got him to the other side and both looking out, but he is just awkward. So she looks beautiful and awesome. The way her hair is moving and her dress and the way she's looking out, but he's just kind of stooped over in a not great way. I like that detail. And emotion, having fun, and we're able to, fix our mistakes and move them into a better spot. So a little bit closer, and you can see us moving, come back inside, and we're still getting the photos before. Oh, that dog is so cute. The photos before the ceremony, which is at the courthouse. This is a tough shot to get. This was a little bit of editing, and you can see the bright background so bright. I really had to push the exposure up to try to get this, and you could see some purple fringing. That's easy to get rid of, but I normally people don't really care that much or see it. Like we're pretty hard on ourselves, and most of the time, only other photographers see that kind of stuff. If it gets real crazy and everything's purple, but that's a barely thing. And I know some photographers would say that you need to get that out in every photo, but I just don't see it. I don't see that you have to do that all the time. Details, little puppy. So we're going through, and then we keep getting the details and go to the courthouse, and you can see the courthouse behind him. And then they're in the courthouse. She had actually got held up on security, so security was checking all of her stuff. I can't remember why, but that's why everybody was laughing. Beautiful shots, love it. And then the courtroom was pretty dark and really weird lighting, very harsh. But these photos still capture the emotions, and once again, that's out of our control to have a giant television above them, but that's okay. We're still getting some good photos, and they have so much emotion in these photographs that even if he dropped a bunch of candy and he's trying to shove it into his mouth. I love it. And they're this is what matters for us, and that's my wife and I, what we really focused on is the emotion. So much fun. They were such a fun couple. Love those. And quick courthouse wedding. We thought we did. Oh, these are not in order. I don't have them sorted correctly. Sorry. You can see the two different. We were able to meld our cameras too, like a Sony with a Fuji. I think worked pretty well, even though sometimes the color is a little off in some of these. Oh, and there I am, and my wife and my son, because they wanted the photos with us. My God, I'm a wreck. Haha. But it was a good time. Courthouse wedding. I would do that again and again.